I used to complain at school that I looked out of the window for long periods of time. And that sums up my life. I like to look out of the window, do nothing.
Ritchie Blackmore is a famous English songwriter, guitarist, film score composer, and musician who's best known for being the founding member of the band Deep Purple. This guitarist also formed a heavy metal band called Rainbow and worked as a session musician. He was also a member of the instrumental band The Outlaws. Ritchie also enjoyed a successful solo career and created a traditional folk rock band known as Blackmore's Night. In 2004, Ritchie was ranked number 16 on the list of world's greatest metal guitarists of all time. Moreover, Rolling Stone ranked Blackmore number 50 on its list of greatest guitarists of all time in 2011. Then in 2016, this successful guitarist was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as an original member of the band Deep Purple.
Daydream. And this is a perfect vehicle to do that. You can look out to look within.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Richard Hugh Blackmore, but he's also known as Blackers, the Man in Black, and Ritchie. He was born April 14, 1945 in Weston-super-Mare, Somerset, England, United Kingdom, making him 75 at the time of this production. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, or 1.79 meters. The star sign of Ritchie is Aries, and he weighs approximately 75 kilograms. Did you know that Ritchie is the only member of Rainbow to appear on every album? This guitarist is known for being an intensely private man, and he rarely grants interviews. Although Blackmore has a reputation for being rather difficult to work with, some musicians have disputed this, and Ritchie has even admitted that he refused to smile for any photos as a child. In 2009, Matthew Baton portrayed Ritchie in the film Telstar, and he's been an influence on several guitarists, including Paul Gilbert, Michael Romeo, Lita Ford, Wolf Hoffman, Randy Rhoads, Dave Minichetti, Scott Henderson, Yannick Gers, and Brett Garsed. Although Ritchie has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, he did not attend the ceremony. Ritchie's also a fluent German speaker and has several German friends. Let me also tell you that Ritchie learned to drive in 1984 when he was 39 years old. Blackmore purchased his first car at that time. Ritchie's a heavy drinker and loves to watch German-language TV on his satellite dish. This guitarist also has a collection of around 2,000 CDs of Renaissance music. Ritchie suggested the name Deep Purple because it was the favorite song of his grandmother. Ritchie married Margrethe Volkmar from Germany in 1964, and the couple lived in Hamburg during the late 1960s. They had a son together named Jürgen. However, Ritchie and Margrethe eventually divorced, and later he married Barbel. She's a former dancer from Germany, and Ritchie married her in September 1969. During the early 1970s, the couple divorced, and Ritchie moved to the U.S. in 1974 for tax reasons. For some time, Blackmore had an affair with Christine, and then in 1978 he met Amy Rothman and moved to Connecticut. After dating for around 4 years, Ritchie married Rothman in 1981. However, this marriage was also not successful, and the pair separated in 1983. Following the divorce, Ritchie started a relationship with Tammy Williams. Blackmore met her in early 1984 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Williams was working as a hotel employee in Chattanooga. After he broke up with Williams, Ritchie started dating fashion model Candace Knight. They started living together in 1991 and moved to Knight's native Long Island in 1993. Ritchie and Candace remained engaged for around 15 years before eventually marrying in 2008. On May 27, 2010, Candace gave birth to their daughter, who was named Autumn. Then on February 7, 2012, the couple welcomed their son, who was named Rory.
We all have to look within. I think a lot about death more than life, because we're going towards death. And I think death is very important. I think it's going to happen to all of us, most of us, not all. Some of us might get away with it.
This famous guitarist was born at Allendale Nursing Home in Weston-super-Mare. He's the second son of Violet and Louis J. Blackmore. When Ritchie was 2 years old, the family moved to Heston, Middlesex, and Blackmore received his first guitar at the age of 11. Ritchie's father gave him the guitar on certain conditions, such as he would have to learn how to play the guitar properly. So Ritchie started taking classical guitar lessons, which continued for 1 year. In 1979, Ritchie said in an interview with Sounds magazine that he began learning guitar because he wanted to be like Tommy Steele. Ritchie hated his teachers and loathed school, and while he was studying at school, Ritchie participated in sports, including the javelin. When he was 15, this guitarist left school and started work as an apprentice radio mechanic near Heathrow Airport. Later, Ritchie took electric guitar lessons from Big Jim Sullivan, a session guitarist. Back in 1960, Ritchie started his career in music when he began working as a session player for music productions of Joe Meek. This successful guitarist has performed in many bands and initially was a member of the Outlaws. This band performed in live concerts as well as studio recordings. In studio recordings, Ritchie backed singer Glenda Collins and pop singer Hines. In late 1967, he joined a band to be called Roundabout when Chris Curtis invited him to join the band. However, Curtis was forced out even before the band wholly formed. In April 1968, this band's lineup was complete, and Ritchie suggested a new name, Deep Purple. The Mark I lineup of this band featured Nick Simper and Rod Evans and lasted until 1969. During this time, the band released 3 studio albums, and John Lord appeared to be the band's leader. In 1970, the first studio album from the second lineup was released. This album was titled In Rock and signaled a transition in sound of Deep Purple from progressive rock to hard rock. The Mark II lineup of Deep Purple featured Ian Gillan and lasted until mid-1973. During this time, Deep Purple released 4 studio albums. 2 of them reached number 1 in the United Kingdom. And the third lineup features David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes. In 1974, the band released 2 albums, including Burn and Stormbringer. The Mark III lineup of Deep Purple lasted until mid-1975, and 2 studio albums were produced. Then Ritchie decided to leave the group and form a new band called Rainbow. In 1975, the debut album called Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow was released. With Rainbow, Ritchie released several successful albums, including Rising, On Stage, and Down to Earth. In 1983, this band was nominated for a Grammy Award, and in 1977, Ritchie and Candace formed the traditional folk rock duo called Blackmore's Night. In 1997, Blackmore's Night released their debut album titled Shadow of the Moon. The duo has released 8 studio albums to date, including Under a Violet Moon and Romantic Collection.
That's what Bob Dylan said. Bob Dylan came up to me once and he said, "Hey, who the hell are you?" And I kind of admired him for that.
What did you answer?
I just walked away with my head down and continued to look out of the window. He was looking out of the window a lot too.
Ritchie has mainly earned his net worth from his various bands and as a solo guitarist. He was part of Deep Purple, which sold more than 100 million copies of albums globally. Moreover, the band Rainbow has sold more than 28 million copies of albums worldwide. He's a renowned guitarist and also earns money through brand endorsements. The total net worth of Ritchie Blackmore is $16 million. Currently, Ritchie lives in his house on Long Island in New York. Ritchie Blackmore likely owns the following cars: a Mercedes, a Range Rover, a Ford Coupe, a Ford Mustang, and a Rolls-Royce.